Hello and welcome to ISAK TV. Welcome back to the channel. Newcastle 2, Liverpool 3. Let's talk about it. Listen, before I get into it, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Please help your boy out. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Do you know what I'm saying? And let's get into this. It was an amazing game. What a game. Like, even if, cool, I'm a neutral, innit? So I'm watching it from a neutral perspective. It was sick. Like, I wanted action. I didn't want it to just to be high intensity and then 0-0. Like, I felt like that would have been do you know what I mean? Or just one goal and just like the fully defensive but like no, this was action packed, innit? We saw a red card, we saw a few yellow cards, we saw a couple of injuries. Not that we want to see injuries, but like tackles and all that, whatever. Now let's actually get into it, innit? First, listen, Rio. Big up to Rio, man. He done his thing as well. Big up to Rio. That was, bro, to have the calmness and that to score that. Yeah, bro. That was good, man. Let's get into it as well, yeah. Bro, I want to get into it from like a stage, but Kirkers, oh my lord, bro. Second game, another stinker. He's too rash. He's too emotional. Do you know what I mean? Like, you could tell from man's trim, like, he just, no fade and that. No patience. He couldn't wait till the fade was done. He just left the ball. Like, these man is like the mohawk. I've been telling people about that mohawk trim and that. You get the mohawk trims, usually you're not balling out. Do you know what I mean? And just rash, bro. Do you know what I mean? Even for that, I think it was for the Bruno goal where he was like just getting pushed, bro. Like just on him, and he just didn't know what to do. Whatever. Like if I was him, I'd just move away. He can jump, but it's like he's not leaning on me, innit? Bro, that didn't make sense at all. But let's keep it moving. Who's Verts, bro? Verts. Now, I'm not one of these people that likes to get onto everyone's player, innit? Because I've also been one of those guys that says all the time, yeah, players need a bit of time, depending on, obviously, okay, cool, he's coming from the Bundesliga and all that. Obviously, he's an expensive player, innit? So, like, I understand that everyone wants to put the pressure on him, but this is the era of buying players based on their potential. So you're not buying a player because he's £100 million player on the pitch right now. You're buying him based on his potential. Do you know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be good and whatever, but a lot of the times, depending on what team's coming in, we knew Liverpool also buying a lot of players and that. But he's not doing it right now, bro. He just reminds me of Havertz. Let's get into this half space and this half space, but it's like there's nothing else, bro. There's nothing else from him, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And how he lasted 80 minutes, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Konate was a bit as well, not really like all that. Van Dijk was good. Do you know what I'm saying? Doing his thing in defence. And other than that, like, Gravenberch was alright in the beginning, scored a sick goal. The front line, Gakpo was, you can say, a bit off it. Salah was off it. Do you know what I mean? Like, Salah had done his thing, innit? As in, he managed to get in his GA. You know what I'm saying? He done his thing. It is what it is. Now, as long as obviously it helps the team, it don't really matter, innit, sometimes. But listen, let's actually get into it a little bit. Look, Eddie Howe done his thing, innit? Eddie Howe done his thing. We have to give him his flowers, bro. Because for me, they didn't deserve to lose the game, innit? They didn't at all. They did not deserve to lose the game at all. But obviously, games sometimes are won in moments and that. But if you look at the way he set up his team, obviously not having a striker, but then he did have the Osula guy, but he decided, you know what, I'll go with Gordon Ramsay. I'm joking. Gordon up front. And for me, he was alright, but then obviously like early on he had that header that he missed just over the bar, and the commentators were saying, oh, Isak, if Isak was there would have been 1-0. But listen, no one cares, you know what I mean? He's not there right now. You still need to win the game. And looking at it, it went from that, they still had that thingy. The way he played, he was playing a mid block defensively, and then he had the only way Liverpool really could break them, now he kind of forced them to go long ball, long ball, long ball. And it was kind of like, you need to kind of get Newcastle to come to you. Now, it's not easy. Newcastle's at home. The crowd was on it. Everyone's on it. Obviously, big occasion. They've turned it into a big occasion because of the whole little rivalry, because of the whole ISAK thing. They've managed to get there. And also, obviously, they beat Liverpool in the final of the FA Cup. So, you know, they went there and it was like, okay, cool. Boom. We're trying. We're going to do our best. We're going to fight. And listen, that's something that you can never take away from Newcastle, especially on the Eddie Howe, bro. Those players are playing and fighting. Guimaraes, like Bruno was on it, everyone's on it in that midfield, and even defensively. So let's get into like the first thing. The only person here that I never really rated that, bro, that was like a hologram here was Nick Pope. Like twice, he's just standing there like this for both the goals. Like, bro, you need to move, bro. You need to be a bit. Kind of try to predict where the player's going and dive. Like, you can't just be standing still. What you thought, like Rio's gonna take a touch. But listen, let's actually get into it. Listen, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll kind of go through the game a little bit here. Like I said, Gordon had that first header that went just over the bar, and then it was just a bit Newcastle, not too much. Liverpool getting the ball here and there, and then for me, just before half time, that Gordon guy as well, bro. Because like think about it like this. Teams like Newcastle and that, they have game plans when they go and play teams like Liverpool. Like when any of them top four teams and that, when lower level teams or mid-table teams go to these clubs, they have to come up with a game plan to beat our clubs, innit? So sometimes one player going away from that can ruin the whole game plan. Even if they're trying to stink it out and get a 1-0 at the end, they have a game plan. So the minute that goes out, that can just ruin the game for them. But yeah, disgusting tackle. You see him sprinting towards Van Dijk for no really real apparent reason. He wasn't sliding before he got there, like way before he got there. So what he ended up doing is he ended up sliding almost like when he was like a meter away from him or something. And then obviously he didn't stop before he got to him, nowhere near the ball, and he just ran straight into Van Dijk's standing leg, bro. Like that didn't make sense at all. Simon Hooper ended up giving him a yellow card, then ended up changing it after checking VAR, giving him a red card, rightly so in my opinion as well. And then yeah, I thought, this might ruin Newcastle's flow, blah blah blah, bro. They came out second half, 20 seconds before the game gets restarted, and these men concede, innit? Gakpo on the left hand side fakes it a couple of times like he usually does, running towards like they are just outside the edge of the box. Obviously cuts in, and then when he had a shot, it bounced back. Ekitike just there, boom, gets his goal. And yeah, man. And then from there, it was like an uphill battle basically. 2-0 down. You've just come out. Whatever the manager spoke about, you haven't done. You haven't been able to like do that because now you're doing that. You've conceded. Do you know what I mean? So they now go into that game, and it was like for some weird reason they kind of pinned Liverpool back. Or Liverpool thought, you know what, we can just handle it 2-0 down. We're alright. I don't know what they were thinking. Livramento crosses the ball. I think it went back out. Livramento crosses the ball. Bruno Guimaraes just ended up climbing on Kerkez. He just managed to keep himself on Kerkez. Just heads the ball in 2-1, and you can start feeling like the hope, the beliefs coming into Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? The beliefs coming into Newcastle. Boom, they come out. So obviously he starts bringing in Osula. Miley came on first, and then Osula, and he was like, all right, cool. I was thinking Harvey Barnes went off, and yeah, and I think who else came off? I think Jacob Ramsey came off later when Joe Linton came off and that. But it was like, okay, they're playing now, and it was just that every long ball, every throw in was a long throw. Every corner was just in the box. Even at some point, I think it was Trippier took a corner just near post, almost caught the goalkeeper out of position, and he did well to save it. Alisson. So yeah, man, I was looking at it thinking, yeah, there's a long day now. If you have to, Liverpool has to get the ball back keep it, take it to the wide areas. You have to do things, bro. You have to try play your game again. You can't just let Newcastle have the game and the ball consistently, bro. You can't do that. And for the second goal, it was another cross and a flick on by Dan Burn, and Osula manages to flick it in just underneath through Alisson's legs, bro. And I was like, Newcastle can win it here. Do you know what I'm saying? If they keep putting those pressure that they're doing, and it was literally falling asleep one time. Obviously, then it was Slot's time. He started bringing in the changes. Do you know what I'm saying? And from there on, it was like just a little couple of passes out wide to Salah. Salah passes it through the middle. This is why you always have to take risks, especially when it gets to the end of the game. Obviously, there was 11 added minutes. I think this was around the 100th minute. They have a chance. They try to keep the ball towards Newcastle's side on the right-hand side. They passed the ball out wide like quickly. I think Gravenberch was the one that got tackled in midfield. They kept playing. They didn't stop. You know what I'm saying? That I think the ref gave advantage or he didn't do anything. Goes out wide to Salah, crosses the ball in and kind of on the floor through the middle of midfield, and through the box. And Szoboszlai has to get credit for this because he could have just lashed at the wall, but he had the awareness to know that Rio was behind him, and he let the ball go. Rio, with all the calmness, just hits it first time bottom right corner, and he wins them the game, bro. Like, obviously we wanted to see a win, innit? We wanted to see something, and bro, they gave it to us, innit? Obviously, so as someone who's trying to win the title, and I hear it, and I don't want Liverpool to win, but at the same time, if I'm looking at it as a spectacle, as a game, it was a great game. Obviously now, for Newcastle fans, they have to make sure that this doesn't affect them, affect their morale to going into, I think, the Leeds game. So yeah, we'll see what happens there, man. But why, great game, bro. Great game. Like I said, bro, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you want me to do these more often, let me know in the comments below as well. Let me know your thoughts of the game in the comments below. I respond to all the comments, so make sure you let me know. Listen, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.